Our problem 5-61, and we have Mia, who is going to repay a loan with initial proceeds of $20,000 and end of year installment payments of $4,461 are required. And we want to find out how long it will take to actually repay the loan under a few different interest rate scenarios. So obviously we're looking for the amount of time to determine how long it will take to repay. So that is, think of N in our time value money formula, and N in Excel is nper, or number of periods. So we use that as our function. And here we will enter in part A if Mia can borrow at an interest rate of 14%. So 0.14 will be our rate for part A. And we know that her annual end of year installment payments are $4,461. So that's an outflow. We'll put that as a negative. And the loan amount was $20,000. That's the initial proceeds. Okay, hit done. And it's changed to a dollar sign on me for some reason. So change it out, and now we've got a 7.54 years is the length of time it will take to repay that loan with a rate of 14%. So 7.54. And now what we're doing is just changing the interest rate. So how long will it take if she can borrow at an annual rate of 11% instead of 14%? So here's where, instead of re-entering all the data, I can either just copy this cell to another cell and change it there, or in this case, I'm just going to use the same cell and just change the rate. So let's just change that to 11. And it drops the number of years for the payback period down to 6.51. So again, just in an exam scenario, this is just how quickly you can work through a problem just by changing an input or two, and save you a lot of time as opposed to trying to manually calculate these with formulas. Now, if their interest rate is higher, so instead of from 14 to 11, going down, instead of it goes up from 14 to 17, in this scenario, then obviously we would expect the payback time to be larger than 7.5 years that was calculated in the first part. So let's go back over here and just change the rate to 17. Done, and as expected, it goes up to 9.15 years. Okay, then just in reviewing those answers in A, B, and C, we're going to describe the general relationship between interest rate and the amount of time it will take to repay the loan fully. So let's look at option A. So the higher the interest rate, the lower the number of time periods needed to repay the loan. Well, that's not correct, because as the rate went up, it's taking us longer to pay the loan back. B says the higher the interest rate, the greater the number of time periods needed to repay the loan fully. That definitely sounds correct. Just looking at the other two, the lower the interest rate, the greater the number of time periods needed to repay the loan. That's not true, because the lower the rate, then the lower the number of years it takes to pay back the loan. And then in part D, the interest rate does not affect how long it will take to repay the loan. So that's clearly not accurate. So the answer is B.